Welcome to the All Outdoors Photography Podcast with your hosts, Rylan Meadows, Ryan Taylor, and Henry Doyle. In today's episode, we'll be talking about how we use social media to promote our photography.
Hello and welcome back to the All Outdoors Photography Podcast with your hosts, Henry Doyle, myself, Ryan Taylor, and Rylan Meadows, where we discuss everything all outdoors and nature photography related.
We want to thank you all for all your recent support on the podcast, and you can follow us on all of our different social medias using the links below if you're on YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube and you're listening through some different audio device, you can find us on YouTube and then use the links there.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about social media and how we plan our social media posts, our approaches to social media, everything social media when it comes to nature photography. So I hope you enjoyed the show.
So as Henry said, we're going to be talking about all various different things like social media. So I'm just going to start. I just want to ask you guys, how do you use your social media to really market work, and which platforms are you both of you guys on? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So primarily, I would say I'm most present on Instagram and YouTube. So right now, I have a print store, but I'm not really trying to sell my prints. So the main place that my photography actually goes is to my Instagram, I would say. So as of right now, you could say I really shoot for Instagram. I want to change that in the future. Eventually I want to start selling more prints, but I'm trying. But, in the future I want to do kind of like what Ryan does, galleries and whatnot, and that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I shoot for Instagram. And then I've kind of created a little schedule for myself that also involves YouTube. I actually came up with this pretty recently. So I do 4 Instagram posts a week. And then on 2 other days of the week, I do a YouTube video. So 2 YouTube videos a week. And then every Tuesday, I do the podcast. So I try to have at least one piece of content a week. And basically,
that's a lot.
It's really not that much.
You listed a lot there, I think.
Yeah. I tried Instagram daily post for a while. It wasn't too bad, but I don't. Right now, I just am in kind of a creative rut, so I don't have that many photos I want to post on Instagram. Because I don't post everything I take like some people do. Like some people I see, they just, as soon as they take the photo, you know what I mean? As soon as they take the photo,
they post it later that day. Yeah.
20 pictures are on one post, and it's no caption and stuff,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're calling me out, man. Sometimes I do that.
That's not you.
Especially lately.
It's not you.
I mean someone that takes their phone or whatever camera and they transfer it instantly, no edits, no nothing. It just goes right on there. You know what I mean?
And it'll be 50 pictures of the same photo, but just a little different pose or something.
I kind of do that, but it's usually drastic. I'll off-center it to the right, rule of thirds, or it's left, or it's vertical, horizontal. So I feel like I work it kind of like the scene, and I edit all of my stuff obviously with computer tools and software.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm just phone picture. Okay, that's
Definitely not you that we're talking about.
Burst. I do burst mode and just I have the same image. No, I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
So.
And then go ahead.
Good. Oh no, okay. You're good.
And then with YouTube, like I said, I do 2 videos a week, and I mostly do I'd say in studio videos. I don't do a lot of in the field videos. I actually have never done an in the field video, but I talk about editing techniques, camera reviews, camera news, all kinds of stuff. So I do that twice a week. I'm really trying to grow my YouTube because I personally believe if I get my YouTube high enough, my Instagram will follow. I wouldn't think it, for me at least, I can't see it being the other way around because I don't know, for me, my Instagram's been stuck for 6 months, so I haven't really gained much. So
the algorithm changes just so much.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why. But if you cross promote both, it should just grow organically. Yeah. That's not even if you do any kind of ads or whatever. I want to ask actually, if you don't mind. Yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna ask real quick. Would you ever want to make an in the field video?
Yes. The only thing that held me back is driving. So like I said in the last episode, I'm going to be able to drive in a week from now. So once I can do that, I can easily bring a second tripod with me. I don't really have the best camera. I'll probably use my phone or this camcorder I'm shooting on right now. and then I always kind of felt embarrassed because usually when I went to the park by myself, I'm either biking or going with another person. So I don't like filming around family or something. It's just kind of weird for me. And then like when I bike, I don't want to have 2 tripods clipped to my backpack. It's already weird enough to have one. So
no, that's totally fair.
There will be some videos soon. So in the field. So
yeah, I mean, some of my videos were done just via bicycle, and I mean, I kind of did this what you're talking about, really, with 2 tripods, maybe 2 cameras. I mean, it can be a lot to lug around, but you can go to a very close place and shoot a video for the day or something like that. But so it's always an idea.
I really enjoy. I have a background in like video production and stuff. I really enjoy in studio shooting. I like playing with lighting and doing B-roll and that kind of stuff, like cinematic B-roll shots. I've got like a little fluid head tripod so I can do the nice smooth shots with it. So I like doing stuff like that. So that'll be most of my content. There probably won't be weekly in the field, but maybe once a month or something. So yeah,
that's a pretty good amount. Yeah, you can easily, I think, add that to your schedule, at least how you have it now. So
yeah, and then
that'd be a lot of fun.
I tried like TikTok. I know Rylan kind of blew up on TikTok. I tried it
pretty quickly,
but I really hated the editing interface, so I just gave up.
It's terrible.
I've tried it twice now, and I just couldn't stand it.
I usually edit any of the ones that I post on TikTok externally on an app called BCut, which is free, and it's really good. So if you ever want to try out TikTok again, you should give that app a shot.
I'll give that a shot. Yeah. Although it might be getting banned soon, so I might wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That stresses me out.
I was gonna say when you made one, Rylan, I was considering it, but yeah, then I heard it's gonna get banned. But now they have that Instagram Reels too.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I'm still don't have it. I don't understand.
Are you for real?
I've updated. I checked all my updates. It's not there.
It's under your stories thing.
It's just
under
not
that.
there.
Really? Maybe your device isn't supported. I'm not sure.
I have an XR, so I doubt.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that would work. That's weird.
Huh. What frustrates me is I don't think it's gonna promote your work like it does, like TikTok does. And tonight at some point when we're done filming this podcast, my video that's supposed to come out today, I would have had it come out way earlier, but my schedule has just been super hectic today, is about Instagram Reels and some of my thoughts on how that it's gonna go down. So I don't think it's gonna be great.
I mean, like what I find is people don't really care that much on TikTok and stuff. Like it's more like, first of all, we don't even know if some of those viewers are real people. We don't know what they're doing with the algorithm. Like they could be using bots. We're not sure. And like, when you're on it, it's hard for me, at least when I'm on an app, to go to a separate app. It's just kind of a hard thing. So that's why I think Instagram Reels will be really cool, because you can just have it on the same app. So if you want to see the person's photos, you're already on there. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, it's integrated. I mean, that's how Instagram got started, was just for photographers, and TikTok, it's more for music when it started. So it's a whole different audience, I would think. How many photographers are on TikTok?
A good amount.
There's more than you would think, and I mean they do pretty well. I mean, I've seen some that have like 13 million views, which is insane.
Like the big names? I mean, any of like
the big
McKinnons and Northrops?
No. Chelsea's on there, but like she's only posted a couple of videos. Of course, I would know that. I mean,
you would know.
I don't think Peter's on there. There's a really talented, creative like photographer called Jordy Kolatic. Don't quote me on that. It's something like that. It's it's not a common name, obviously. But
yeah.
Must be foreign. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. I still don't know if I'd make one, especially with the Reels now. My following is really dedicated, I think, on IG. So it's like, I feel like I just use Reels, which I'm not even sure how I'd work with that yet.
My thing is, as soon as I got Reels, I was trying to hurry and hop on the bandwagon, because like when something new comes out, I feel like from now on, anything that could possibly take off, I'm going to be like jumping on the train just to, try to get out there and get noticed more. But last time I looked, which was like this morning, it was just at like 50 something views. So they're not promoting it like TikTok does.
Like you have to get on things in the beginning. Right. Like today I watched a video. This really has nothing to do with photography, but it's Twitch. It's a live streaming platform, if you don't know.
Oh yeah.
A lot of gaming creators stream on there. I tried it once, but I gave up, like most people do. But like I saw that it's like so oversaturated that it's like literally like almost impossible for you to grow now because so many people are on there. And there's no algorithm, no nothing. There used to be, but there's not anymore. So basically, you're just dead in the water when you go on there. Like it's not even worth it anymore.
How's the discoverability on that? Do I just search Henry Doyle photographer and you pop up? I mean, like
yeah, but that's it. There's no algorithm. There's no nothing on there. So
hashtags or anything. I mean, like
there might be hashtags, but
I can't recall. I mean, it's been a while. I used to be heavy on Twitch too. So.
Oh yeah, I watch Twitch every day. So
yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
I'm subscribed to quite a bit of people. So
it's a good platform, but yeah.
Let's go ahead and get back on course.
Yes. This is not the all outdoors gaming podcast.
Ryan, how do you use social media to market your work?
Well, I will say I'll start off by saying the most successful has been Instagram because I talk up so much of that. I spend literally several hours a day. I know it sounds like a lot, but like dedicate each day just to like post on my stories, do my once a day daily photo posts, interact with respond to DMs, tag people. I got this podcast I moderate with the two of you guys, and then I got two of my galleries, another online gallery. I'm moderating like all these different accounts seamlessly on the same app, which is neat. I think that's why I like it so much because it's just easy to kind of flip through all of them. And so I'm working all these different, I'm juggling all these different tasks, I guess. And but I actually enjoy it. I mean, it's chaotic and it's hectic, but like it's a lot of work. But I feel like it's really paid dividends. Not too much in sales overall, but like it's definitely helped in just growing my following and people, liking posts, commenting, just sharing it, with each other. I feel like it's a really great community, even though now Instagram is like billions of, users and followers nowadays. So that's really where the most of my attention goes. On the side, I'll make some videos on YouTube, upload them there. Usually it's just more run-of-the-mill stuff. I'll do in the field videos, especially. Had a few series with that, and a few in-house videos. I don't really do those too much, probably because I don't know much about lighting, indoor lighting, to really work those well. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, I have a Facebook and Twitter for them both, but they don't really attract too much in the way of like followers and such.
Yeah,
but that's pretty much it overall. A blog, but it's more just for me to write on and express some deeper stuff that doesn't really belong on the other accounts.
Yeah, I can tell you put a lot of effort into those Instagram posts, like, especially in those descriptions. Like, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the sky's the limit. You can talk about whatever with the photo or something. You could do how you took it. You could do camera settings. You could just talk about how you felt, the emotions, the feelings.
Yeah.
There's just like so much you could work with that. And I just put 2 paragraphs, but that's more than enough to really just a couple sentences, and it works. But yeah, that's pretty much overall what I do. I mean, I'm a website. I don't really make too many print sales on that, but it's just nice to have that as a portfolio because people do actually check it and they tell me that, which is really nice. And then I got my galleries, but that's more offline than online.
Like I feel like if you're looking for like older clients, like it's almost kind of necessary to have a website, if you know what I mean. Like kind of the traditional way, like you meet someone in public and they want your website. It's never your Instagram.
I totally agree.
Do you guys have business cards?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I
do actually.
Some.
Me.
Do I have one?
They're really dope though. Like
nice.
I have.
You should mail one to me. I collect them.
In a long time.
Let me flip out mine because you guys want to see my phone number. But yeah, these are Moo. It's
I had mine on there too. It's fine.
I don't know how to blur yet, so I've never had to. So
the screen's flipped for me, anyways. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And then what you're saying is because I'm more, at least right now, I'm more in the fine art kind of world, and I feel like marketing is all about knowing your audience and knowing kind of like the ideal person, the ideal buyer. So I mean, like what you're saying about let's be real. I mean, most of those kind of people are gonna be a little bit older for the most part. Fine art collectors or just people that appreciate a bird photo or a flower photo.
Most people in general, I think, that would be paying you for anything are going to be like someone older. They're not necessarily going to be like, oh, what's your Instagram handle or anything. They're going to want to know, well, what's your website?
Yeah, they'll definitely. Well, I mean, they'll ask for, my Instagram, but like they just might only use that to follow and like
Yeah.
the photos.
Right.
Because they're more about on the screen or something, let's say. And I know I'm generalizing broadly here, but bear with me. But yeah, I mean, like older people, they want to see my work more so in person in a gallery. So it's part of the reason why I do that as well. Plus, it's all for sale, just like it would be online. So
All right.
it all goes together there. That's pretty much it, though. So
Nice. Rylan, what about you?
I've been really diverse lately. I haven't really set like one thing to just focus on, which is something that can be good and can be bad. Recently, believe it or not, here I go. I'm gonna go on my little TikTok tangent again. I've posted more on TikTok in the past week than I have anything else, which is really unusual for me. As far as Instagram goes, I usually try to get about a post a week. I don't have any set schedule. I used to try to do a post a day, which became ridiculously difficult. And then I narrowed it down to like 3 posts a day, and from there was a point where I was absent on Instagram for a couple of months, which really was a poor decision on my part. But recently, I try to do 1 post a week on Instagram. As far as YouTube goes, I've been doing 2 videos every week, but I just decided this week actually that I'm going to limit that to 1 now, and it's going to be every Thursday instead of having to deal with making 2 videos a week, because it can get really hectic to make quality content 2 videos a week, especially when you're trying to do, out in the field and some in the studio. It's just, I don't know, it was really difficult for me to kind of manage my time properly to get a really good edit and stuff to go along with that. Yeah.
Quality over quantity.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What makes you want to focus on YouTube more? Anything in particular?
There's not really anything in particular. I feel like there's not necessarily a wider audience, but I feel like it's more dedicated people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you're scrolling on Instagram, you can say, "Oh, that's a cool photo," and just double tap, and you like it, and you can scroll on and go on about your day.
Keep scrolling.
But when you're on YouTube, it's like I feel like they're more engaged because they're actually listening to you and they're watching you. And I mean, it's debatable. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, YouTube is the deal. I mean, Instagram, it can be just as good as YouTube, but I just personally, at the moment, am focusing on YouTube more than other social medias.
It's I've only had positivity on Instagram, but on YouTube it just feels like, I don't know about you guys, but no, I feel like on YouTube. I have
my experiences.
Let me just say
me too.
Sorry. No, but on YouTube I just feel like the comments are more drawn out. They're like, it's because most people think of YouTube comments as just like, you suck, blah, 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 just like random trash talking overall, and just people with bad grammar or whatever. But like for my videos, it's like, if like these drawn out, like the several sentences, they're drawn out like comments, and they just feel like very personable, which is really amazing.
Yeah.
People are just like, holy cow, how do you put all this together, like stitch all the editing and everything? I'm like, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, the few comments that do get, besides like want to be friends, spam ones, but yeah.
Yeah, those are bots. Don't click on that.
Yeah, I delete those immediately. But the handful of people that do follow my work, they follow each video, which is so cool too. Like they'll comment each one. I'm like, you guys are awesome. So at least that's been my experience.
I've got a Facebook and Twitter too, which I don't really post a lot on there. As far as the YouTube thing, I'm just gonna touch on this briefly. When you talk about equipment that someone has already bought or may already own, and you're not necessarily getting positive feedback, people can be very sensitive. I have had people personally attack my personal appearance. I've had people cuss me out.
I think I saw some of those comments before. I've seen those on your channel.
The worst comments that I've ever got was on my video that I made on the Nikon D6. Oh my gosh, people were ruthless on there. They attacked my appearance. They're like yelling at me like. And it was before the camera even came out, so no one knew how it was going to be. And I made that very clear. I was like, these are just predictions. I don't know. And there was just people like, you don't know how this camera's going to be. It might be the best camera.
Are you a Nikon rep?
And I was just like, oh, okay.
You were right, though, about that camera. So don't let the haters tear you.
Yeah, you ate their words.
I mean, for me, I've never had any hate comments on YouTube. I've had pretty much positive, except for that bot. I think it was the same bot you guys had. Said "wanna be friends" or whatever.
Well, it's like several of them at least.
And
I think.
I did some research into that, and it was all from one guy apparently, and he got like
He kept changing his name.
He got arrested, I think.
Really?
And
Just for doing that?
If you clicked on his
Wow.
channel, I believe your channel had like a high chance of getting hacked. Like you could take it over.
Oh
somehow.
gosh.
Yeah, he was like a really good hacker.
I've clicked on it a few times. Oh my gosh.
I
Let's
did
see.
too.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, who's this moron who wants to be friends with me? I'm kidding.
about last year, I think this time last year, I had some horrible hate comments from one person on my Instagram. It was like this like really
Really?
obscene name that I'm just not gonna say on here, and like he like spammed like really just not very nice words to say the least on all of my posts. So I had to manually delete each one, which kind of sucked. But
I've had
yeah,
Jeez.
I've got a couple of negative comments before on Instagram too. There's this guy that like followed me and he seemed like nice, and so like I actually followed him back. Now you all know I don't follow a lot of people, but I followed him back, and then like it got to the point where he kind of irritated me, so I unfollowed him. Well, I guess at some point he noticed that I unfollowed him, and he went on this big long tangent on one of my posts about how I was never gonna get anywhere if I just kept unfollowing people, and that it was absolutely ridiculous, and I wasn't gonna grow doing that. And I was like, dude, I just unfollowed you. And I was like, you don't have to. I like messaged him and I was like, you don't have to post your big long tangent on my under my comments. Like, if you want to say it, just message me. Then I blocked it.
yeah.
There you go. Speak your piece and just block them. I think
Mhm.
that's nuts.
It's kind of weird. Like, you have like a lot of people in real life, or at least for me, I have a lot of real life friends that follow me. But like, it's different the interaction like between them and like actual photographers. I find that like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like for me at least, before I started photography, I already had this account, so it was just like me posting stupid portraits, I guess, of myself. You know, stupid selfies and stuff.
Yeah.
So like the problem I get, and I think this is my theory on why I get kind of low likes compared to other people with similar amount of followers. I think because a lot of those people are just friends from school and stuff. They still follow me, but they don't necessarily want to like anymore because I post a lot, and if you're not a nature photographer, I can see you getting like a little bit annoyed. At least I would get annoyed if something random popped up every couple days.
In my experience, because I'd have friends that like, oh, I didn't know you were on here, and then they follow. They might like a couple photos like the couple days after, and then just nothing because they just go like, oh,
Just like disappear.
it's like Ryan, you're cool, but like you're posting this once a day crap, and I'm like, I don't want to see a tree like 20 times in a row. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And then,
no, that's been my experience.
And they want me to follow them back, but I'm like, I don't want to see that in my feed. I'm on here for nature photography and stuff, so I only follow like-minded photographers. I really don't follow.
So you guys are very choosy about kind of who you follow on there.
Yeah, I do have to
Me
admit,
too.
I have done the go down the follower list thing before. We've all done it in our beginning stages. I don't do it anymore, but
you can manually remove people, which is nice. So, and then I have that close friends list feature too, which is pretty nice. I don't use that really, but like it's nice to just kind of put my close personal friends and like lump them into kind of one spot.
I wonder if I could do like a paid subscription model for that, like exclusive like photos or exclusive stories under close friends or something. I don't know.
I mean, it's not paid, but for me, it's like you guys, like anyone, my profile's public, set to public. So anyone can log in, log in, sorry. Well, I guess log in, but yeah, they can go. Anyway, yeah, they can go to the link, my profile, and they can see all my photos, my whole feed, because it's all curated. I don't put any other kind of junk on there. But if you follow me, you can see all my stories, which that's like the behind the scenes. So it's not paid, but it's like that's kind of like my caveat, I guess.
Right.
You get to see the more.
When people follow you, you add them to your close friends list, or?
No, I'm just saying because you know how you can't view stories without an account or without following.
I thought you could. No.
I don't think so.
I think if you go to their page, you can, but it won't show up in the top, of course. I think.
Maybe. Oh, let me check. Out of curiosity. You might be right. I'm not sure. Anyways.
because I get some like sometimes I don't do this often, but sometimes I look at who views my stories, and there's some people I've never seen before,
Oh, wait.
and they don't follow me. I know for sure. It's
Now, no, I'm here on desktop, and I'm not linked to my profile. I'm not signed in, and if I click my like icon, it says I need to log in. So.
Well, yeah, but I think if you're logged in, you can still view other accounts' stories. Like you have to be, you have to have
Okay.
an account. I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's what I mean. I just mean like not anyone can view them.
Mhm.
They have to be logged in or follow. Sorry, I must clarify that.
And also, if you put a hashtag, we can talk about hashtags. We could go into that for a while. But if you put a hashtag in your story, it'll show up like on the global hashtag thing. Like if you click on the hashtag, it'll be at the top. So
There's so many neat things you could do with that. Location tags and what you're saying.
So our next question was going to be how, like, our scheduled post. Do we have a certain schedule? But I feel like we all kind of touched on that in our original, speech that we did. So our next question is, how has social media helped grow our following and increase sales?
Well,
or has it?
Yeah. I mean, I guess for me, it didn't increase. I mean, I've had a few sales like from. It's hard because most of my sales have been direct, as in like I met the person at a festival, and you talk and you share your work, your passion for it, and they go, "Oh, cool, I'll buy this." But online, it's so because it's just the anonymity and like the distance. People don't want to buy a print or something from me because they even if they know me, it's like still kind of weird almost. Because it's just that weird proximity thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I really haven't. I've made sales from online, but it's not like increased, I guess, so to speak. But following definitely has, which obviously following can equal sales over the long term, because you just build that up. But it's definitely grown my following at least.
When we say following, we don't necessarily mean like your number of followers. Like we don't mean like, I don't know, 500 people that are following you, but we mean like general following, like
and like how interactive they are.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the most important part.
Do they go to your YouTube? Do they go to your Instagram? Do they check out your Twitter? Like are they following your work?
Like I know, at least for me, I'd rather have say 10,000 followers in a really good community than like 100,000 and just a bunch of just random people in the comments.
Yeah,
definitely.
People that comment once, they follow. That's it.
Because I mean, I've heard stories where like we'll say 10,000 followers. I've heard stories where they can like make this is kind of off topic, but 6-figure incomes a year, and then there's people that'll have like 200,000 followers and they're not making anywhere near that amount.
Exactly.
And it's because the following, like how interactive they are with you, that's really makes all the difference.
A good example of this is Ben Horn. He doesn't have an insane amount of followers. Obviously, it's really good. I think he has like 50 on YouTube, 50K on YouTube, maybe 20 on Instagram or something. And every year he has a group of dedicated people that buy his portfolio box set and stuff and all those prints. And I don't know if that's his full-time job, but I know he probably makes a good amount of money from that. And he has a really active community, but not huge numbers. I would say someone like, no offense to Northrops or anything, but obviously they make a lot of money. They make a lot of money from YouTube, but they achieve that through...
Careful what you say, Henry. I would choose your next couple of words very wisely.
They're great photographers, but what their marketing is not photography. They're marketing their photography. They're marketing education.
They're teachers. Yeah.
I would guess they probably don't sell a lot of prints if they even offer that.
I think they do. I think they don't actually offer individual prints. I think it's kind of like, if you buy our book at this point, we'll throw in this print with it. I think that's kind of how they do things.
But like, there's people.
Yeah, well, that's extra.
There's people like them who are more business focused, and there's people who are more art focused. And I think a combination of those two is the best, in my opinion.
I agree.
And it's also important to like diversify. I know if you guys ever read like business articles or books, I know I've read plenty of them. They always say, especially with like outdoor nature, photography. It's like you got to diversify. You got to do like you got your workshops, you got your webinars, you got your in-person seminars, whatever. There's just so many ways you can just sell your photos, sell your work, sell your passion,
Yeah.
educate people. So I'm still learning that, of course, because I'm about a few years in here, and I'm still kind of just trying to build up that kind of following and be like, hey, I got this book, or just trying to find ways to make an income, I guess.
And you want to
maybe eventually be full time.
You want to try to make location-based connections too, because
Definitely.
if you're wanting to do workshops, sure, there might be a couple people that are willing to fly in to do it, but the majority of people, I would guess, would be in your local area, or at least in your state or something. So
or portraiture or something like that. It's important to have people nearby.
That's
So try to use. I know like geotagging can be bad. Like you don't always want to do the exact specific. There's nothing wrong with. I mean, it's a personal choice, obviously. Make your decision. But, like I would say, at least tag your like city so you have a connection with other people.
Some Instagrammers I know they'll put like what you're just saying, the city. I do location specifically because most of the time it doesn't really matter from the shots I take. But I mean the problem is at festivals they always ask me, hey, where'd you take this? Where'd you take this waterfall?
Yeah.
See, it kind of got. I will be honest, it kind of got annoying because you just have to answer it to everyone because they all just want to know for some reason. But
I think you go or.
So,
I think
go ahead.
I think the only problem with geotagging is when it's like in like a really, really popular place or like a really, really fragile area that can be easily destroyed by tourists.
And that happens more often than not, unfortunately. It's like
so, Henry, how has your following and sales increased from social media?
Or has it decreased?
Well, it has.
I hope not. Let me get that right.
I'm gonna say. I'd say it's slightly. I've gotten one sale. My only sale from social media would be Ryan buying a print. The rest are family.
A canvas.
So I would say my sales haven't increased, but definitely my following has increased. Mostly just on Instagram. Right now I've hit a wall. I can't seem to grow. I'm actually losing followers actively. I don't know why.
Oh, that's not good.
Don't stress about it.
I'm trying not to too much, but YouTube still hasn't quite taken off. I think I have about 2,000 views right now, so I want to get to that 4,000 mark so I can get some ads on there. Not for money necessarily, but I know once you get ads, YouTube prioritizes it a little bit more. Voice crack. Prioritizes it a little bit more. I would say my following's increased, but not my sales, and I don't necessarily need to rely on sales, so I'm not too worried. But if I want to go full time, obviously I'll have to work a little harder.
The problem with social media is that like people outside of what we do, they kind of just look at how much time you have to invest in marketing or promoting your stuff, and I'm like, well, it's for a reason because we're trying to make, like I said, a living off of it. And it's not like we pour in these hours creating videos, sharing that, promoting that, or even like this podcast. It's just trying to share it on multiple channels and promote it in different ways. And it's like it's all like kind of valuing your time. It's all work to like get to an end goal, I guess, of making some kind of income from it. I will say, I just thought this. We should have started with this question, but how long have you guys been really promoting your work? How many years or however long?
Mine's probably about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Which is how long I've been doing this.
Oh, really?
Pretty much I started as soon as I started taking pictures.
You're on a great start then. Like seriously.
Yeah, you're
doing great.
You'll be up there in a couple of years.
I hope so.
I've been doing it I've been photographing for years, almost a decade if you want to call it that. But I've only been on like a web presence for about website's been about 3 years, and then everything else has been about a year and a half now. So about the same as you.
For me, I've had the Instagram account I've been posting photography for about a year and a half. But back then, I was kind of like one of those people that just posted whatever I got. But I think I started taking it seriously summer 2019, so not really long at all, about a year.
About a year.
And then I think I gained about 200 followers pretty quickly. And then with YouTube, I've had a lot of YouTube channels in the past actually. Like I was always obsessed with YouTube. Like I used to be big into Legos like a long time ago.
Oh, me too, man. Yeah.
In like
I
2014.
used to have a Minecraft
Mhm.
channel.
Did you make Lego stop motion?
Yes, I did. In
Did
2014.
you really?
In
Awesome.
2014, me and my friend we had a Lego channel.
That's so cool.
And then I think I made some tech videos too, kind of some early tech videos in 2017 or something. And then I used to do I actually had a not successful, but it had about 50 subscribers. I thought that was successful. It was like a superhero channel. I talked about theories about Marvel movies and that kind of stuff. So,
That's so cool.
so I've done a lot of stuff with YouTube.
I have too.
That's where you got your start,
But
pretty much.
I really started the consistent upload schedule around October of last year, so almost a year now.
You guys are pretty good about it. I'm too sporadic with that, the videos at least. You got like a nice schedule really going along.
I try.
They require so much work. It's difficult.
It really
The
does.
the editing for me is what just it puts such a mental
Yeah.
strain on me. I really don't like it. It's not fun. It's just not
I
for
agree.
me.
If I ever make it big, you can be rest assured I won't be editing my own videos.
Well,
No
that
one else
requires
is
you
doing that.
gotta hire someone for that and
Yeah.
pay them.
Pay them a living
Unless you-
wage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless your buddy's just like, I'll do it for free, and they just really love you that much. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I have this one video right now. I'm literally stuck in the middle of it because I was gonna do this like stealth camping is what they call it. So I was gonna like camp out somewhere and photograph the sunrise, something like that. And I didn't. I like left that night. It was after it got dark because I couldn't pitch my tent in the dark. It's terrible. So I literally have on my GoPro like the footage from that, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back and like play it off
Stitch
cool.
it in together.
I guess I ruined the surprise now if you listen to this, but yeah, so it's like stuck in limbo, and I'm like bugging myself. I'm like, I gotta finish that video because it's gonna bug me so much. I'm like halfway through it. It's happened before
really...
too.
Sorry, I like.
Go
I
ahead.
interrupted you like 3 times. So
I'm just rambling now. I just thought about it. It's irritating.
That's funny because I can't count the like amount of times I've did that, and this is totally gonna spoil it too. But no one would ever know. Like I'll be out and I'm not like filming or recording or anything, but there'll be like a deer or I don't know turkeys or something come out, and so like I'll take videos and photos, and then later I'll go back and I'll film myself and I'm acting like they're there right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's this massive deer, and like I'm taking pictures of it, and there's nothing there, but no one would ever know that because I have the video footage and the photos of it from previously. Just stitch it together to make it seem like it's happening right then.
See, the problem for me is when I sit down to edit a video, when I do a project, I can't stop doing it. So when I edit a video, I literally sit there for like 3 hours, and it's horrible and I can't stop. Like I just can't pause.
You're sucked into it.
I can't. So I have to.
Good.
I have to dedicate. I have to dedicate like hours to it, and it sucks for me.
Yeah, I know with me it's like when I did my on location series, because those are like they always kind of came out to be 20 minutes or so videos, and that requires like a good 4 or 5 hours start to finish editing at least. And I'm like, all right, I have this evening time, like this block of time, and I'm like, I can start on it and finish it in that one sitting. Yeah, because I'm like the same way where it's like I would just hate to walk away from it, have to go do something else. So I totally get that. Yeah. I had another question. I forget what it was. Brain fart.
And the thumbnails for me too. I try to put a lot of work into my thumbnails because I feel like that's really what's gonna get the clicks.
The eye-catching, the big outlined like font.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's like a fine line between making it like clickbaity and like something that's in like catches eyes, attention grabbing. I guess I try and like skirt that line where I'm like I don't put like wow, cool. Nature, I'm just kind of like, but I want to put something that's informative too, like the title of the video or something. The thumbnail.
What are your guys' thoughts on using clickbait itself for the title of your videos?
Now I have mixed feelings on that.
We're gonna hurt some feelings, I think. I don't know. I don't use caps, like caps lock.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't think I ever have. I don't know. I've never wanted to. I don't know.
I will.
Go ahead.
I will say I do some clickbait titles, but like
there's ways to do it right.
Even if it's clickbait, like I always talk about that in the video. It's not like I'm like tricking someone. There's other genres where you
It's not
completely
like
trick someone
I
with your
almost
title.
got mugged.
Uh-huh.
And
Although
then just like a video of nature.
That could be a retrospective
No,
video idea.
I'd
Yeah,
love to.
you could do that.
I'd love
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
on
Tell the
Fiverr
story.
or something and like hire an animator and like do like a really good episode where I do the narration, he animates it like a full mugger story. I know it was already told on this podcast, but I feel like it could be really cool.
I don't know if either one of you all like on your personal time ever felt like Mr. Nightmare, but he's like a really good horror storyteller and like has real good horror stories. Sorry, I'm just totally off topic right now. But
I've never
you
heard of
could
him.
like probably give your story to him and he would probably do that.
Yeah. It is
That's fair.
definitely a horror story. Or it could have been.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the question again? I had a thought. Didn't
Like,
you ask a question?
Do you think clickbait or do you use clickbait?
Oh, yeah. Okay. What I was gonna say is like, I know for me, because like I want the videos to like reflect like my personality. I don't want to be like I almost made a video about this because it's an idea at least right now in the works. I would just like title it "Be Yourself," and it's kind of cliche, but I'd just be like, because I'm not like a boisterous personality, and I feel like that carries around, into the videos I make because it's not like I'm just like, what's up, slap that like button, subscribe, you got like the backwards facing hat, no offense to all those guys, but I'm not like that like extroverted type. So I don't have a hat with me right now. But yeah, I just like I wanted to reflect. I want to be kind of, I don't know what you call it, be true, authentic, I guess, to myself. So it's just me talking. It's more, for the most part, more laid back, and it's just me doing what I do, taking pictures, keeping it real.
So like for me at least, when it comes to like being true to yourself, I do a lot of acting, and I'm not a great actor, but I do it a lot. That's like my main activity. Like 5 days a week during the school year, I'm at rehearsal and stuff. So like I kind of treat my YouTube at least kind of like I'm putting on a show. Like I'm not like
Practicing.
I'm not like over dramatic or something, but like
Welcome to the video.
but I am very different. Like even on this podcast, like if you meet me in real life, I'll be different than I am on the podcast. Like
yeah.
I
Me
try
too.
to separate that a little bit.
I try to stay a little more
I'm very
professional.
shy in person. Like
Me
just
too. I feel like that's why we all kind of flock to outdoor photography.
Yeah.
I'm like I'd rather look at a bird all day than, because if you see me at my gallery receptions, it's just like I'm quite, if I don't know you too well, I'm quiet as a mouse. I'll say hi, but like it's hard for me to be outgoing and just be like, so this is my work. Let me show you, all excitable. It's hard to do that for me. So totally get what you mean. So I want to ask you guys one more question. It's kind of like a big one, I guess. So, how has using social media made you a better photographer? What do you think? Overall, just.
I think, yeah, I'm going to say yeah, and I have a couple of reasons for that. The first reason I think is because it challenged me. That when I first started, I was so concerned about likes. Now it doesn't really make a difference to me if a photo gets likes or if it doesn't. And at this point, I kind of know what's going to get likes and what's not going to get likes. But I used to try to challenge myself to make that content that's going to get likes rather than what I want to do. So in doing that, it did make me a better photographer because I learned compositional techniques. I learned how to get closer to subjects. I learned to be more familiar with like wildlife and stuff. And then I learned, the rule of thirds, which is a compositional technique.
Yeah.
I mean, that I feel like that did. And then a second reason I feel like it did is I was getting to see other photographers' work to inspire me. Like I would see a really great landscape picture and I would be like, oh, I want to be able to make a landscape photo like that. And so then I would go out in the field and I would end up getting a really good landscape photo. So something that as far as social media goes, it really got me into long exposures.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I used to never shoot a long exposure until Instagram, because I would see just all those really superb photos from professional photographers or from Nat Geo, and it's like wow, how does the water do that? And then you kind of Google and then you learn, oh, it's a long exposure, and it's like, oh, I need a filter. And yeah, I think it's helped me improve over the time that I've been doing it.
It's a little aside. I will say, I feel like because I post a lot of long exposure, and I feel like some of those are my most liked photos, just as a coincidence.
Same
There's something
here.
about that.
Yeah,
People like
I
that.
see that as well.
It's
Uh,
like the fine line between like natural and like removed from reality. It's kind
I,
of
I
like in between.
I feel like it really draws people in because it's like, oh, I can't do that with my smartphone. How did they do
Exactly.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, it's because we're not using a smartphone.
Let me show you how. Yeah, at my workshop.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely true.
Like, and also another big factor is like, it sounds weird, but like a tripod alone. Like, even if you're not doing a long exposures, at least for me, a tripod, it's probably been the number one thing that's furthered my photography. Like, just
Oh, yeah.
having a tripod and be able to laser in a composition and try
Yeah.
different things, that's been the best thing for me.
Be able to not have, your hands shaking and
Uh-huh.
making sure your horizon's level and stuff.
Yep.
That's
And having the right shutter speeds, there's not motion
Yeah.
blur and all that stuff.
you can just
I feel like
kind of
that's-
focus more.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like I feel like that separates like an I don't know what you call it, us. I guess you call it purists. I don't know what else you call us, and like the hobbyist or the casual people. Because I'm not dogging people that shoot handheld, but I personally don't really do much of it, honestly,
Mhm.
because it feels like it rushes it more, like you were saying. But like a tripod kind of grounds and centers you, and you're more focused on the scene in front of you and composing it well, and you know, I don't see it really as
Anytime
restrictive.
I'm shooting the landscape, I always have a tripod.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I mean, it opens up so many things. You can pretty much use whatever shutter speed you want, which is the number one thing. Because if you're in like a really dark condition, you don't want to have to put that ISO up, and you want to have a nice wide aperture like f11 or something to get everything in focus.
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
handheld introduces so many variables that just is really hard to deal with. Like for portraits, handheld's great. Because you can shoot at f2.8 or something, ISO 100, and just
Right.
adjust the shutter speed to whatever you want. But landscapes is so different, and you get all that control with the tripod.
And I mean, I think wildlife is kind of closer to portraits than anything else that you're really going to do, besides the fact that you can't tell them what to do, obviously. So I will occasionally shoot handheld with wildlife, but even with wildlife, I think you're in dark conditions a decent amount, which is why I want to know how your F11 does,
Yeah.
Henry.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm excited to see that, because I might end up switching to Canon. Who knows? Because that's a pretty interesting thing that they've done with that.
For the viewers, Henry's getting soon a Canon 600 or
Yes.
600 mil prime f11.
Yes.
So,
I'm
which you
renting
might
it.
talk about in a video.
Yes,
review.
I'm renting it from Lens Rentals for a week. Like Ryan said, it's 600 f11. It's got image stabilization, which is kind of crucial with that f11, so I can keep those shutter
Definitely.
speeds down. Unless there's moving birds, of course. But what was I gonna say?
It has image stab, right?
Yeah, it has image stabilization.
Okay.
I am scared about that f11, but I do have a full frame camera, so I can go up pretty high with that. And it is designed for. So for me, I'm gonna kind of throw a curveball here, and I say it's made me a worse photographer. Like,
Wow.
yes.
Really?
I'm
I-
interested
I
to
think
hear
so.
this.
Sure, it's great to have inspiration, and I'd say for YouTube probably. Just talking about YouTube first, it's made me a better photographer. Like watching those videos, tutorials, I learned everything from YouTube.
Yeah.
Every single thing
definitely.
for photography. No prior instruction anywhere else. And I learned it pretty quick too. YouTube's a great place to learn that stuff. But Instagram, I'd say it's not made me a better photographer, because you see those cliche, long exposure shots are great, but you see those long exposure shots with the oversaturated colors, the
Oh,
like
God.
the
Yeah.
the
Ugh.
composites with like the stars over like
Yep.
stars over like a
Don't
hill or
drive me
something.
crazy.
The full moon superimposed on the sky. It's like looks so
that
fake.
really irritates
Yeah.
me, because it's like, if you're not a photographer, you would never know.
Yeah.
You would never know that's not real, and that drives me crazy that
Well,
people think that we can do that.
They just like to see what they like what they see.
And
They just see
I
something that looks cool.
I actually do a lot of composites, but I try to make them look really natural. Like I'd say,
Yeah.
a good portion of my landscapes are composites, especially the sunset shots you see.
Do you mean brackets or composite?
Oh yeah, brackets. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do I don't do any
Okay.
compositing. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
confuse the two.
I totally just reversed your whole.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Instagram as a whole has made me a worse photographer because right now I'm not selling a lot of prints and I don't really have a printer, so I don't feel a need to, print all my photos. So, like I said, I'm really shooting for Instagram right now, and I do want to change that because I want to be more intentional and not be worried about my schedule and stuff. So yeah, I feel like it's maybe a worse photographer, but the inspiration is still there. But I feel like something like I've tried Flickr. Like I actually quit Instagram for a while and tried Flickr. There's just not enough discoverability for me on Flickr.
Yeah.
It used to be better years ago. That's the thing.
I really like the idea of it. A dedicated photographer place. You could upload your full res pictures, which I really loved. No compressing. You could have galleries, join groups, but I just couldn't get the following on there, so I stuck with Instagram. I am thinking about pursuing Facebook, because I feel like there's an older audience on Facebook, so maybe they'd be willing to buy some more prints.
Yeah, especially if you know local people in your area.
Yeah.
And what's really good on Facebook is if you make like a public page, you can go in and invite your friends to actually like the page. So
you can also if you have a page, you can make a group too. If your following gets big enough. And that's an idea as well.
Yeah. But it's not like I hate Instagram, but like I feel like I've heard a lot of photographers say this as well. I feel like it's not the perfect platform for photography. It's good.
I don't think it is either.
I feel like it's the best if you want to get discovered, but it's not the best to really be a professional photographer.
Because it's just such a diverse platform. I mean, there's people that are
loaded.
I mean, there's
everyone's
on
it. That's a problem.
Certain niche or anything.
I mean,
it's
I think
just
it's the
whatever.
second photo and video app in the world besides YouTube. I think.
Yeah.
I believe it's second. Sounds about right.
Facebook might be number one.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not sure. I know discoverability is a lot more difficult on Facebook though, compared to Instagram.
It's pretty good, I think. Actually,
they don't take advantage of hashtags as well.
Yeah,
as like the other ones. Yeah, they really don't for squad.
I use them and I can't tell it does anything.
Facebook uses some crazy. They use some crazy ad stuff though. Like, I watched a bit of Mark Zuckerberg. He testified recently to Congress. I mean, they do some crazy stuff to get on top of companies. Like they will actually, if they see a competitor, like if they have a loyal ad company that's on there, if they see a competitor that's made a Facebook page or something, they'll tell that bigger ad company so they can like squash the competition and like buy out the company before it even starts.
It's kind of bad though.
It's crazy. And if you guys didn't know, Facebook actually owns Instagram. And they also have a partnership with Twitter. So what I like when I post my photos, I just press this little check mark and it posts on Twitter automatically for me. So that's all I do on Twitter for me. And there is one for Facebook as well. So I wonder what that does. I'll have to test that. Have you ever used that? Have you guys?
Yeah, I've thought about using it, but I don't.
It posts directly to my page, and if you guys see my layout in my post, it looks pretty accurate. Like it has the clickable, the hashtags, it has the photos. If there's more than one, it'll have all that. It actually looks pretty formatted well, honestly. Good. But it's neat though.
The thing for me on Facebook, if I got on there, I would have to like post like twice a day for a while to like get everything up to normal. Because like I have a backlog of really good photos that I really want to be on there, especially if I'm going to be selling prints from there. So I would have to do a lot of work on that.
Which I mean, as far as Facebook, personally, I mean, you can post as many photos as you want at like one time. There's no limit like Instagram does. Usually if I go out on a shoot, I post like all of the relevant photos all together. I don't do like one individual post, which that's just my preference. There's nothing wrong with doing an individual post.
Yeah. Or you could break it up in multiple sections or whatever.
But for Facebook, I feel like people are more intrigued, at least in my area, they're more intrigued if like they have multiple photos to look at instead of just one.
And it's more optimized. A lot of people go on their phones for Facebook, but it's really popular on computers. especially the
Yeah.
50+ crowd that has their little desktop. And
Yeah.
they go on there every day and check what
Yeah,
their
that little
check
yeah,
what
that
their
little
granddaughter's
selfie.
doing.
They
on
want to see
their-
it full size. That's all.
Uh-huh.
That's great. So for me, has it made me better? I feel like you have to like play your cards right, and you really have to know like what you're saying about the photos like really saturated. Everyone likes the more colorful stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've learned over like the past year and a half, kind of like what works and what doesn't. What attracts more attention and what doesn't. But overall, I feel like it's better if you know how to play it to your strengths. I think and just really still post what you believe in. Still make content that you stand by. But I'd say it's made me better because you share. It's more shareable.
Yeah.
Without it, it's like I wouldn't really. I'd have a few close friends, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
One example though is there's this one guy. He's on YouTube only, but he quit every other platform pretty much. It's Dave Morrow, and he's made several videos about it, and he's pretty much just denounced it, saying like, "Hey, don't waste your time. Invest on your content, your photos at least." And he's like, he argues that video making is its own art, and it's not really like social media per se.
It definitely is. So at the end of the show here, if we have anything, we're just going to kind of talk about our updates. So for me, I just finished my Tamron 24-70 review. It's up on my channel.
I watched it.
I put a good amount of effort into it. So if you're interested in that lens, it's for Canon DSLRs or mirrorless and Nikon. So if you're interested, make sure to check that out. And then the other thing for me, I talked about this, but I'm renting that 600mm f11. So there's gonna be a pretty good review of that, or at least a initial thoughts video. I'm renting that for a week, and probably with the intention to buy it if I like it. I'm pretty sure I will, but so stay tuned for that. And actually, this is pretty cool. I was talking about this before the show, but I think I'm going to be the second person on YouTube to actually do a review of this. I don't know how.
Ooh,
The only other
that'll get you views.
Yeah, there you go. The photo's cool.
Uh-huh.
You'll be at the top
Mhm.
page.
The only other person that's done it is Jared Polin, and I don't know how
Yes.
Northrops or something. I don't know how they haven't gotten their hands on it, but
Don't jinx it. I mean, you say that and they'll have like 50 videos come out
yeah,
tomorrow.
I know.
Don't you?
But
Give it a week
Yeah.
or something.
so that's pretty cool. And just so you guys know, I'm going to be using that with my Canon RP, so that'll be another interesting angle with that. A lot of people are using that lens on the R5 or R6, but I have the RP, so obviously that's what I'm going to use. And that's pretty much it for me. I'm pretty excited for that lens. I've never rented a lens before, and like for the sole purpose, like it's not for a trip. I'm just going to do a week of bird photography and video making. So I'm really excited for that. All right.
I'm
That's
excited
cool,
to see
man.
how that goes for you.
I mean, I've
What-
never been able to take close-ups of birds, so I'm really, really excited.
And
Dude,
it's awesome.
at 600, you can pinpoint them pretty easily, and you don't have to really
Yeah.
crop at all.
I feel
I
like
mean, I barely do really.
there's also the 800. I feel like 800 is almost too long for birds. Like I feel like if I'm
I feel like
Depends.
it's more of like for a safari or something.
Yeah.
Kind of like bigger animals that are really far away.
You're shooting
rather
from
than
like a
birds.
mobile blind or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're more stationary. But if you're on the move, I mean, that lens you got there should be nice.
And I have
I would-
I'll still keep, if I buy the lens, I'll still keep my 7200. I find that's pretty good for deer photography. There's quite a bit of deer where I
Mhm.
live, so I do a lot of that with my 7200. But I'll be using the 600 for birds.
That's fair. For me, well, I have a gallery reception tomorrow night, so that should be fun. Be like the third one for my guest exhibit, but actually, it's not a guest exhibit anymore because the other day they said I could be a member, or they asked me to, and so I said yes. So that's
Okay,
cool.
great.
Did I mention? I think I
you
mentioned
did,
that already.
but I think
They're-
you were still
they're-
deciding if you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Or,
Do it. Yeah.
uh,
But yeah, well, obviously I said yes. So it's very exciting. So I'm gonna be moving into from the guest wall to like the actual member wall. So that should be pretty exciting. I get the keys to the place, just like my other gallery place.
Ooh,
So I know they trust
moving
me.
up in the world.
Keys to the kingdom. Yeah. So yeah, that's very exciting. Other than that, it's not too much else really going on.
anything for you, Rylan?
I ain't got a thing, but we do appreciate you all watching today's podcast.
What he said.
So yeah, I think this pretty much sums us up, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah. Well, one more thing. If you
No,
if
I'm
you
just kidding.
if you are an aspiring nature photographer, if you're well established and you've got some good photos, consider emailing us or DMing us about being a guest. Because obviously
Give us a ring.
the
Drop us a line.
obviously the three of us are great, but we're gonna run out of ideas eventually. So
Zoom in on
We
money,
will
Ryan.
need some guests.
We
business
want
card.
we
Go
want
ahead.
some. Gosh, guys. Please please keep that in.
Yeah.
We want to hear your stories. We want to hear if you have something you want to share with us or with our audience. Not that's a big audience, but still, or your audience some more. Like if you have a story you want to share that's interesting, or
even
if you want
if you
a
want to
topic.
send
or
us
something
a
you want-
question to talk about on the show. Like
Yes,
even
yeah.
if you don't want to be on the show, you could send us a question.
Right, that's too much.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
that's the end of the podcast.
all we require is you have a decent amount of, I don't know, I guess following. You have photos. You don't really need a following.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be on social media. You just have to have photos at all. We
Give
will
us a
look over
call.
them. We'll talk to you some.
1-800
Oh,
be
gosh.
on our podcast.
And we'd prefer if you're nature photography. Like we don't really want to be
Outdoor.
covering portraits on here. So
Yeah, preferably not. But other than that, and just have some decent audio video equipment so you could record with us, and that's pretty much it.
all right.
It should
Thank
be a
you
lot of
all
fun.
so much for
Thank you for
watching.
watching.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye. All right, that's going to wrap up another episode of the All Outdoors Photography Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show, and you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and the video version available on YouTube. You can find the links down below, and I hope to see you in the next episode, guys. Thank you.